Hello, everyone, and welcome to this welcome and introduction video to Block Party number 134. I just want to give a flavor about what we're going to have on the Block Party. Starts at 7 a.m. Pacific time, as always, right here on Zoom. See the Zoom link below. Everyone's welcome. And from 3:30 to 5:30 Pacific time in the afternoon, we're going to have Dharmendra leading us on accelerated collective evolution. And that is a real treat. He's on first and third Fridays of each month. This is the first Friday in November. So please join us from 3:30 to 5:30 for Dharmendra, and all day long and all night long, literally. The 24-hour block party starts at 7 a.m. Pacific time. Gentlemen, feel free to jump in with any announcements. What I thought I'd do is screen share and show some kind of cool concepts we've been working on. And this is just an example. This is just like an appetizer to whet your appetite for what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. But basically, we're now at a point where we're finalizing the architecture and high-level design of a really a system of systems. I'm going to describe one system that we've been working on, but the beauty is people will be able to create whatever systems they want to parallel this one. And all such systems working in parallel will constitute a decentralized network of systems, all of which can be aggregated by like a Google, for example, that aggregates together all the information about all the different transformational conversations that are happening out there and creates a really nice, either keyword search, experience, or browse by category experience, or, so many different ways to approach this. And so the essence of it all is plurality. So what I'm going to describe here is one, one particular perspective on that plurality, on that thing. And the thing is the decentralized universe of transformational conversations that are all hyper-connected, right? Forming the acronym DUTCH, DUTCH, decentralized universe of, I'm just going to abbreviate, of transformational conversations, which are hyper-connected, okay? And so the unique perspective on that universe that I'm suggesting right now, that we're kind of co-creating here, I'm going to represent kind of with this ellipse with 4 points around it, which I will decipher. There is the now point, ABC, HH, and XYZ. And imagine that in the middle we have some topic, it could be like, global warming or something, right? Like that, okay? And imagine that these are kind of 4 different sort of mega perspectives on that topic. And I'll talk about these 4 different perspectives as kind of a narrative, a story. So there's the now perspective that says, hey, what do we do right now, starting right now? I know this is a long-term project and all that, but we've got to start. We've been delaying too long. What do we do right now? And then the microphone gets passed over to ABC. ABC, as the name suggests, is all about the fundamentals, the fundamental ABCs, the fundamental physics, mathematics, science, data. What are the facts about topic, global warming, for example, right? Here's where we would discern, for example, by how many boops per year are we overheating? We don't even know that, right? I mean, like, it's like some bad Saturday Night Live skit of cavemen and cave women just bashing themselves over the heads, can't get a clear view on crucial topics. Anyway, the ABCs basically: go back to school, get the basics in this hopefully fun little narrative. And then ABC says, okay, we've got the basics, and that can certainly inform what to do now. But to paraphrase Carol, if you don't know where you're going, any path will take you there, right? Right now, we're on any path to a specific destination, which also has the initials HH. I would call it a highway to hell, is what we're on right now, not just with global warming, but with all of the big six mega problems, right? And whoa, sorry. And those big six, just to write them all out, we've got nuclear war threatening, we've got pandemics, we've got global warming, we've got the destruction of the biosphere, we've got food and water shortages around the world, and collapse. Big six, all either happening or right in our face or just on the edge of. Remember 5 years ago, we didn't have a single one that was top of mind. Yeah, they were all brewing, but not a single one was top of mind. Now we've got six in our face. So what we basically need to do is a sharp U-turn away from, see, right now we're on the highway to hell. We need to do a sharp U-turn and towards heaven on earth, right? And that's what the HH perspective is heaven on earth. That's the where we want to get to. And that's a conversation, or a whole network of conversations unto itself, more specifically. So we want to get to a heaven on earth. And so again, what do we do now? Well, get your fundamentals right and figure out where you're going. Okay, now that we got the fundamentals, the ABC and the HH sorted out, now we can have a meaningful conversation about not just the now, what do we do now to start? In other words, HH, think of it this way. It's heaven. It's what is heaven on earth? It's our definition of that. It's a clear, clean picture, image, story of that. And it's a how do we get there? What is heaven and how do we get there? What is heaven on earth and how do we get there? Right? Since we've got good grasp of the fundamentals at this point, or we'll certainly need them if we want to be able to have a meaningful conversation about how do we get there. Now, there's a facet of heaven, which is the temperature of the planet. We need to cool the planet back down to a much more livable and heavenly temperature range. And we need to figure out how are we going to get there, and in what time frame, right? Now, imagine solving that problem with the rest of the problems within the big six: nuclear war, pandemics, there's global warming, you are here, destruction of the biosphere, food and water shortages, and collapse, right? And those aren't the only, those are just like what I call the big six threats. We have so many other problems, right? So we really need to look at each and every topic, each and every problem and facet thereof. So we're talking about, hundreds, thousands of topics that we're going to need to get very, very strong on in terms of both the fundamentals. What is that topic's part in a heaven on earth? How are we going to get there, where there is this multi-topic, multi-dimensional heaven on earth, right? And it's really only by looking and examining all of these topics, which pertain to, people and the planet, all the big six that we've talked about, and many, many more. It's only as we master all of these topics in a holistic, simultaneous way that we can come up with a holistic, simultaneous plan, a how, for how to get from where we are right here, right now, all the way through to a heaven on earth. So that covers the now perspective, the ABC perspective, and the HH perspective. There's only one more in the picture here that I haven't mentioned yet, the XYZ, which is basically everything else. Any other perspective or perspectives, that would be your reference point there. And that's very important, so that we don't just have some kind of holy trinity that gives way to some sort of totalitarian interpretation of the Trinity. XYZ is basically like a permanent Haight-Ashbury, 1967, doing its alternative rebellious thing and enjoying the heck out of it, and causing all kinds of angst for the other three, which are the solid, the now, the ABCs, and the HH. Anyway, that's my contribution to the appetizer for tomorrow's conversation, where we're going to be looking at how, so imagine that those four constitute a system. Let's just call it the heaven on earth system. Okay. And but because it's a decentralized thing, this whole decentralized universe of transformational conversations, and they should actually be certified compassionate conversations, but that's a deviation that we'll get to as well. It's a long day tomorrow, so we'll get to lots of topics. But imagine that in addition to the heaven on earth system of these four different perspectives, there's as many systems as you want with as many different perspectives as you want. I mean, totally decentralized. And but of course, even in a decentralized system, you're going to have a market leader, right? And a number two and a number three, and then some sort of a long tail of others that follow. And, let it be, right? We're talking about perspectives. What's really important here is that you see all these perspectives together, or more to the point, conversations founded in a particular perspective. I don't think I mentioned that link in the last few minutes, so let me reinforce it here. Those four that I talked about, now, ABC, HH, and XYZ, are four different perspectives from which one can originate for having a conversation on a given topic like global warming. Full stop. And it can be a very specific topic. It can be a general topic, any topic at all that's related to global warming. So the set of all conversations that come from any of those four perspectives, the whole idea is to have all of those fully accessible to anyone who cares to browse through or search for transformational conversations on any topic, and coming from whatever perspective they're most interested in. I mean, they'll see what conversations are happening on the topic they're interested in, and then they'll see the perspectives that each one of those is coming from, and that'll help them determine, do I want to be in this conversation or not? But we thought it was important to, create this particular system, because otherwise you get into a conversation on a specific topic, and if there's disagreement about the fundamentals, and one person is pounding their fist saying, we got to do this now, and other people are saying, listen, we haven't even talked about what the goal is. You see how that's mixing up way too many, cooks with way too many perspectives in one common kitchen. Better to break them out into different conversations. And anyway, I'm probably talking a little bit too much, but I at least wanted to share that. We're going to have a much better organized and longer form conversation about all this tomorrow on the block party. So come join us whenever you can. Don't worry about what time you're jumping in, or if you're not jumping in at the top of the hour or any special time. Doesn't matter. Come whenever is good for you. And with that, I pass the talking feather.
Wow, that was a lot, Jamin. And only touching the surface. So I'm sure there's going to be lots of questions, and it'll be awesome to spend tomorrow answering them. I think that's probably all I have to add. It's just like I'm so anxious for tomorrow to come. And actually, here in Michigan, it's been here for 34 minutes already. So yeah, I want to welcome anybody that has a thought to be helpful, or just a lot of questions, because that brings the answers out for everybody. So see you all tomorrow.
Awesome. Thanks, Marco. And everyone's invited. And yeah, there's going to be a whole lot that we're going to just put on the table and draw pictures and tell the whole story tomorrow. So you'll love it. Come, bring all your friends, and it's going to be awesome. Let's go make history together. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. Bye for now.